I was in the Royal Australian Navy. I wanted to go to sea. It's not that I wanted to fire guns and sink ships. I just loved the whole ambiance of the sea. We had a very concentrated training, and when we finished that, after 6 months, we went to serve with the Royal Navy in their training ship, HMS Devonshire. There we were promoted to midshipman, and I was selected to a light cruiser in the Mediterranean fleet, and the Korean War broke out. So we were quickly assigned to the Far East fleet. The Brits cobbled together a brigade from the Hong Kong garrison. The Argylls were placed on board our ship, and we sailed from Hong Kong to go to Korea, arrived in Busan, disembarked the Argylls. It was very formidable because the people had been pushed into this Busan perimeter, which had a radius of about 20 miles. It was a base very much preparing for an attack, and they were defending the perimeter, and we were very glad to get away from that and go about our naval duties. Taejongdo was a base where we used to liaise with Republic of Korea guerrillas. We would foray out from there if we were going to do a bombardment, a shore bombardment. And indeed we had been doing some operations there when we noticed an accumulation of ships, and our captain told us that in a few days' time the Americans would be landing at Incheon. My involvement there, my action station was a gunnery control position, and I had control of all the anti-aircraft guns on the starboard side of the ship. It was a bit alarming at first. You could see the landing craft going in, aircraft flying towards them, firing, some explosions, and we thought the North Korean Air Force was attacking them. What they were doing, the US aircraft could see mines in the water, and they were shooting at the mines to detonate them before the landing craft got there. Our main operation was to patrol up the Gulf in case the Chinese were running supplies across the sea to reinforce the North Korean forces. But then, after the landing at Incheon, the North Koreans withdrew very rapidly. The reports were coming in that they were finding amongst the enemy uniforms that weren't North Korean, and in fact they were the Chinese. And the Chinese had said, "Do not threaten our border." General MacArthur ignored that and decided to cross the 38th parallel and go on towards the border, the Yalu River. We had bombarded Port Gyeongdo on the northeast coast of North Korea, and this inspired the Chinese to see a threat, and they entered the war. There was a huge withdrawal of American forces and British forces from North Korea, and quite a large force of civilians were evacuated from Jampone. Then we withdrew to Incheon. But because we did not witness it the way the army did, we did not witness the desperation of people who were fleeing from the approaching of the enemy. The ship was very crowded, and I used to sleep on a camp bed on the upper deck. But by the time winter came, it was out of the question. So I used to sleep on a camp bed in a passageway, which was very hazardous. People would curse me because they couldn't get past where I was trying to sleep. And that winter was the coldest winter of the century, the winter of 1950-51. It's very rewarding to see what has grown out of the Korean War. Australia had a pretty strong representation amongst the countries in the United Nations Command. So we do figure largely in their recognition, and that has enabled us to, going back to Korea, to achieve things that we could never do from a ship, to learn more about their culture. I think we have a great respect for the energy of the Korean people, what they have achieved economically and politically over the years.